Hello everyone, here are the latest market news on October the 9th, 2019. Chinese NBA fans ask for refunds from Tencent. Some National Basketball Association fans from China have asked for streaming subscription refunds from exclusive server provider Tencent amid a deepening free speech struggle. This move could have serious financial consequences for tech giant. Tencent Holdings renewed its exclusive digital partnership with the NBA in July, securing rights to stream US games in China. According to the estimation, Chinese market accounts 500 million fans. But the Chinese social media giant may now become a corporate casualty of the escalating row sparked by Houston Rockets general manager Daryl Morey, who expressed support of Hong Kong's protest in a tweet over the weekend. Tencent halted broadcasting games involving the Rockets over the weekend and later said it would stop broadcasting the entire preseason after NBA Commissioner Adam Silver voiced his support for Morey's freedom of political expression on Tuesday. Company said users subscribing to the Rockets games can switch to feeds from other NBA teams or apply for a refund. Oil prices decline amid U.S. China tensions. Oil prices decreased for a third consecutive session on Wednesday as worsening tensions between the United States and China ahead of trade talks later this week, rising uncertainties for global economic growth and oil demand. U.S. industry data showed a bigger-than-expected rise in stockpiles that is also depressing prices. International benchmark Brent crude futures slipped 12 cents or 0.2% to $58.12 a barrel, while U.S. West Texas Intermediate crude traded at $52.51 fell 12 cents or 0.2%. Negotiators from the world's top two economies will meet in Washington on Thursday and Friday in the latest effort to sign a deal aimed to end a long-running trade dispute that has slowed global economic growth. But tensions between two sides escalated this week after the United States imposed visa restrictions on Chinese officials for the detention or abuse of Muslim minorities. Meanwhile, a row worsened after leading U.S. National Basketball Association officials comments in support of protests in Hong Kong. Asian shares fall amid trade talks uncertainty. Asian shares dropped the most in a week on Wednesday amid the United States and China's broadening dispute over trade and foreign policy that weigh in global economic growth. MSCI's broadest index of Asia-Pacific shares outside Japan fell 0.61%, while Japanese Nikkei declined 0.73%, marking its biggest drop in a week. Hong Kong shares tumbled 0.68% due to persistent worries about often violent protests against China's rule of the former British colony. On the other hand, Chinese shares slipped 0.32%, Australian shares were down 0.76%. Meantime, U.S. stock futures climbed 0.16%, but sentiment was weak after the S&P 500 ended 1.56% lower on Tuesday in response to the U.S. visa restrictions. Pan-region Eurostoxx 50 futures were 0.03% higher, and German DAX futures rose 0.03%, while London's FTSE futures slightly fell 0.08%. Ecuador's Moreno imposes curfew due to protests. According to data published on Tuesday, Ecuadorian President Lenin Moreno ordered a curfew around government buildings after 6 days of violent anti-austerity protests that have pushed his administration out of the capital, Quito, and brought hundreds of arrests. Following tactics that have toppled previous governments, thousands of indigenous demonstrators have fled the highland capital. Some burst through security cordons to briefly enter the National Assembly on Tuesday. Moreno has declared a state of emergency here and relocated government operations to the coastal city of Guayaquil. He also ordered that authorities restrict movement close to government buildings and strategic installations between 8 p.m. and 5 a.m. to keep order. Facing the biggest challenge to his 2.5-year rule, Ecuadorian president has refused to reinstate fuel subsidies he recently cut and ruled out stepping down. Under no circumstance, Moreno said in an interview with domestic TV channel Teleamazonas late on Tuesday, "I don't see why I should resign if I'm making the right decisions."